Before we can complete the preparation and start the engines, we need the clearance for our flight. Wait while I'm contacting the controller. JetBlue Airlines 241 at gate 9A of Terminal 1, IFR to Lindbergh. Ready to copy.
JetBlue 241 is cleared to Long Beach Airport as filed. Fly runway heading, climb and maintain altitude 13,000. Departure frequency is 134.5, squawk 5101.
Cleared for IFR to Long Beach Lindbergh Field. Fly runway heading and climb to flight level 13,000. Departure frequency is 134.5. Squawk 5101. JetBlue 241. Roger.
JetBlue 241 correct. Contact ground on 121.75.
Roger. Contact ground on 121.5. JetBlue 241. Good day. Alright, let us now finish the preparation. Increase the altitude on the autopilot panel to 13,000 feet and check that you can see 3 points on the autopilot display. If not, please reset the flight management system by pressing the flight director button off and on again. Then the third point must appear. For starting the engines, we need the RPU. Therefore, open the overhead panel with Shift 4, press the RPU master switch and then the RPU start switch. For controlling the start sequence, close the overhead panel for a moment and look at the lower SD display of the main panel. As soon as the RPU is available, press the RPU bleed switch. After this, switch on the beacon and the strobe light and give all passengers the sign for fasten seat belts and no smoking. Close now the overhead panel and open the pedestal with Shift 3. Check that the parking brakes are set and that the throttle is in the position idle. We begin today with starting the left engine, that means engine 1. Rotate the engine mode switch into the position ignition start. On the upper EVD display, the inactive amber gauges must change into active gauges. Bring now the master switch for engine 1 into the position on and check on both displays in the middle of the main panel the spooling of the engine. Go on if the values are stabilized for engine 1. OK. Repeat now the procedure for engine 2 by bringing the master switch for engine 2 into the position on and control again the spooling on the EWD and SD display. Go on if the values for engine 2 are stabilized. If all values are stabilized, rotate the engine mode switch to normal and close the pedestal. In a few moments you can see the takeoff memo on the EWD display. This memo we have to proceed as the next task. But before we do this, we shut down the RPU. Open therefore the overhead panel by pressing Shift 4. Check that both generators are running, what means that both amber default signs change to on. After this, disengage the RPU bleed and then the RPU master switch. Finally, disengage the external power supply by pressing the external power switch to off. Close the overhead panel again and check that you can see on the FMA display the blue entry CLB and nav. If not, reset the flight management system by turning the flight director push button off and on again. Then the blue entry must appear. Let us now begin to work off the takeoff memo, which you can see on the SD display. Therefore, set at first the auto brake to the position max. Open then the pedestal and set the flaps into the position 2. After this, set the ground spoilers into the position armed. Test then the takeoff configuration by pressing the TO config button on the ECAM panel. If the memo on the display shows normal, switch finally the landing lights on. Alright, we are ready for taxi. I contact ground for permission. JetBlue 241 at parking position gate 9A IFR to Lindbergh. Ready for taxi.
JetBlue 241, taxi holding point for runway 11, using taxiway runway 11, contact tower on 118.3 when ready.
Taxi to a holding point runway 11 using taxiway runway 11. Contact tower on 118.3 when ready. JetBlue 241, roger. OK, we have the clearance. Release the brake and increase the engine thrust to 40% N1. If you're aware that we are moving, give full right rudder and turn the jet completely around until you can see the taxiway straight ahead. Let us now check the flight controls. The rudder is functional. We have already seen it by turning around the aircraft. Check now the elevator and the aileron by moving the side stick forward into the sides. You can control the movements on the lower SD display. Crossing, left space right ahead, left side, DD runway 29. Turn then left and minus up runway 11. Okay, line us up on the runway and then stop the aircraft. Eye contact tower. Oakland Tower, JetBlue 241 on runway 11, IFR to Long Beach, ready to go.
JetBlue 241, clear for takeoff. Runway 11, service wind 114 at 8.
Clear for takeoff, runway 11, wind 114 with 8 knots. JetBlue 241, roger. Alright, we have the clearance for takeoff. Push now the thrust leveler into the flax detent. Check that on the FMA display appears manual flax 50 and that you can see SRS and runway in green. Finally, push the side stick forward until we reach the V1 speed.